catalysts, we have made the copper-palladium alloy system the focus of our study. In 1981, a new type of microscope called the scanning tunneling microscope, or STM, was invented. During STM operation, an atomically sharp conductive tip is brought within a nanometer of a conductive surface. A voltage is then applied between the tip and the surface, causing electrons to jump from the tip to the surface in a process called tunneling. The result is a small electrical current called the tunneling current. A circuit called the feedback loop keeps the tunneling current constant by adjusting the distance between the tip and the surface, and an image of the surface is generated by plotting the height of the tip as it scans over the surface. Because the STM image originates from an electrical current, the image contains information about both the topography and the electrical conductance of the sample surface. Here we see an actual STM image of a clean copper surface in which two step edges are clearly visible. If we zoom in on our copper surface, it is quite easy to identify individual copper atoms. Real-time data collection and analysis are performed using two-dimensional images. Using this approach, we are still able to identify individual copper atoms, as well as see how they are arranged with respect to one another on the copper surface. If our copper surface is modified with a very small amount of palladium and hydrogen is then added to the surface, the hydrogen will image as a dark depression or a black dot. Due to hydrogen's relatively weak interaction with the metal surface, it is free to move around, and this motion can be captured through a series of images taken one after the other. These images were acquired at 7 Kelvin or minus 266 degrees Celsius. It is interesting to note that even at such low temperatures, the black hydrogen atoms still have enough energy to move around on the copper-palladium surface. Being able to study how hydrogen interacts with our copper-palladium surface will lead us to a better understanding of what makes it and similar metal catalysts ideal for the methanol reformation reaction. We can also begin to understand how to improve existing catalysts or even develop new ones, thus advancing us towards our goals of energy independence and clean energy sources.
This trash could soon be powering your home. This digester can transform it into energy.
We load the tank to the top, then we fill it with water and suspend all the material in water.
It uses two strains of bacteria to convert waste into biogas. Most digesters store both bacteria in the same tank, which makes the process unpredictable and slow. But not this digester.
Dr. Jean's process takes the two bacteria, the primary bacteria, and separates them into two separate environments.
This new and improved digester is the brainchild of biological engineer Rui-Hong Zhang. She and her students at UC Davis first built this prototype in the lab. She's thrilled her new technology is being put to use in the real world.
It's a new technology, so it's like a child grown into adult.
The digester will turn 3 tons of food scraps into energy for 25 houses a day. But it's not just for homes. The digester could be especially useful to fuel processing plants.
So we can actually scale a digester to fit their current operations, build it right at their operation, take the waste stream into the digester and the energy right back into the plant. It will make a substantial dent in our current energy requirements for petroleum.
It's a win-win-win situation for the environment, industry, and consumers. This is Cynthia Demas reporting.
Right now we have the entrenched energy monopolies and cartels. You know, we have OPEC and we have the 7 sister oil companies that control all the oil and energy. But what people have to understand is that the people who run the energy business in this world, which is the biggest business on the planet, turning over $4 to $5 trillion a year, it's bigger than guns and drugs, it's bigger than defense. They control the newspapers, they control the governments. But these companies are so big that they regulate the government, which regulates them.
It's not free. Nothing is free. But cheap and efficient energy exchange is a viable concept.
Now I say that everything in this universe is free energy. It's been dreamed of for hundreds of years that somewhere, someplace, as Tesla said, man will hook his machinery to the very wheelwork which drives the universe itself.
The history of science is the history of the suppression of great inventions. A few classic stories. Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla is regarded as the founding father of free energy. His astounding developments in the